All right, welcome to the Multifamily Growthcast for another Aloha Friday drip. Man, we're coming at you live in person via not in person
recording
here in Maui, dude, after just an amazing weekend at our Peak Partnership event in Las Vegas. Just an amazing event, man. And if you were not there and you missed it, bad choice.
You missed it. You missed out for sure.
Bad choice.
Yeah.
Just a great weekend, man. I think that's what we're going to talk about today, right?
Yeah, definitely. I want to do a review. I kind of want to get some takeaways from you. What were your favorite parts of Peak Partnership? What did you gain out of it from the level you're at? Yeah, definitely want to pick your brain about it. But before we dive in, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that came and said hi. Came and gave me a hug and said thank you for doing the Growthcast.
Yeah.
It was special, right? We've been doing the Growthcast for over a year now, and we never have seen any of our listeners or talked to any of our listeners. So to be able to connect with a good amount of you at Peak Partnership was special. So it's a different sense of gratitude. Yeah. I don't know if you feel that way, but just being able to meet everybody and really see the impact that it's had on people was special. It was really special to me. So thank you for everybody that had come up and said hello. I appreciate it more than they know.
Dude, I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that. I agree with that. And I've definitely ran into people that listen to the podcast because I have this unique opportunity to be able to travel to these events, right?
Yeah.
And all the time, there's people in our at those events that listen to the pod and let me know. And I should do better. Well, I relayed that.
Yeah, you do.
It's awesome, huh?
It's different when you get to talk to them and give them a hug, and it's just different. So thank you to everybody that came up. There were so many people. It's hard. It'd take me a while to go through a list of names of people, but thank you. It means a ton.
And then just a reminder in your own life, man, because listen, man, we started. If you really think about this, we started this podcast just like you start anything, dude. It's
from scratch. There was nothing. It was nothing. It was zero.
We're talking to ourselves for the most part. You know? But you continue to pump out massive amounts of content and value. Just keep going. And all of a sudden people will come up to you and be like, thank you for doing that. In your own life, with whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing, it's just a good reminder. And it's a good reminder for us when you come tell us. So thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No, exactly. That's good. Yeah, no, totally. It was cool to hear how much impact we've been able to have on a certain amount of individuals, but the impact that I think that had on me this weekend was by far greater than I think I could ever impact anybody. So it was special. Bro. It was special meeting y'all. So thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. We've been talking about Peak Partnership leading up to Peak Partnership for months. It was a huge event that we had been planning and that we wanted to put on, and it turned out I think even more special than we could have ever imagined. It was just an awesome event. But yeah, Ty, I wanted to we've talked about Peak Partnership. Now Peak Partnership finally happened. Now let's review Peak Partnership.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's review Peak Partnership. How did it go? What were some of the biggest takeaways? First, I wanted to ask you one, kind of a specific question. Might make you think a little bit, but what was kind of a big question to start it off as well?
Shit, hold on, dude. Let me put my seatbelt on, bro. Look at this Sambazan. I don't like this one, but if I'm being honest with you,
neither.
I don't.
I just got a few of us. I got a few of them for us to try. That's probably my least favorite one that I got.
I went in and when I saw that these were the only ones. But you know what? I need some energy, so continue. I'm ready for it now.
Okay. So
if you're going to drop a big old bomb on me.
What was the most impactful part of the weekend for Tyler Deveraux?
Gosh,
what had the biggest impact on you?
Everyone there. And the belief that they had in me.
Wow. It's a great answer. Yeah.
Somebody, I wish I remember who asked me this question. I do not. Well, then I'll tell you a couple experiences. But one, we're organizing the event. We're putting everything together. I'm behind, in backstage. And just trying to get everything together. And we even started, I think, 10 minutes late or so because we were having some technical issues.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't even peeked out on stage. Like hadn't even peeked out of the crowd. Nothing. I have no idea, dude. And it's early. We started at 8 a.m. So I'm like, who knows? It's the first session. Maybe,
It's Friday.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe people aren't coming until Saturday. Yeah.
I have no idea, dude. Yeah. And so then all of a sudden, Devon intros me, which, by the way, Devon killed it.
Professional.
He was so great, man.
Absolutely amazing. He did a great job.
But Devon intros me, and I walk out on stage, dude, and see everyone standing up. And it hit me, dude. I was like, holy cow, like it was an amazing experience for me. And dude, it was an amazing experience for me because, I've spoke at these different events, and I have all these different, smaller groups that I go and teach and speak to, and then all of a sudden we bring them all together in the same room. And I knew, dude, we get all these people, because I meet these people. I know them. I know them. And then I'm like, dude, if we can get them all in the same room together, it's game over, dude. It's game over for them and their businesses, meaning it's life-changing.
Yeah.
But then to see all those people that I love and care about all in one room, just, it was impactful, man. It was incredible. And the love that I felt, okay? Love that I felt was massive. Well, then, I think it was Saturday, we did a lunch. I did a lunch with, a bunch of people. And, they were asking us questions. Well, at the end of that, one of them stayed later. And I wish I remember which one asked, but I do not. But he said, what holds you back or what do you struggle with the most right now, was the question.
It's a good question.
I really liked it,
Yeah.
And I told him right out the gates was feeling worthy of everything, And he's like, what? Like, that was his reaction. He's like, what? What do you mean by that? Like, it was not what he was expecting, right? I was like, no, dude, feeling worthy of it all, Like, it's to have so many people pour in so much love is, I don't know how you ever really do feel worthy of it.
It's a humbling thing for sure.
It is. And I was talking to Britt about it. Actually, I was talking to Britt about it last night, the date night last night. And I brought that up to her, and she said, I think that's part of how you continue to grow. I think part of it is that, because I was saying, man, I want to feel worthy of it.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm not even remotely where I want to be, where I know that I'm going to be, not as a company, as a person, as an individual.
Right. Still got a lot to
do. Part of me is like, man, if I'm going to reach that level, then I need to feel worthy of it and know that I'm going to get to the next level. And I know I'm going to get to the next level. But she said, no, I think that's part of it, dude. Part of it is to continue to keep humility and gratitude and all that is to
feel that almost that you're that. Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's a great indicator for growth as well when those things are happening. So I didn't expect to get a takeaway out of your answer. That's a huge takeaway from that is when you are growing and you are progressing down whatever route it is that you're going down, whether you're building a multifamily syndication business or you're building a multifamily education company or both.
Yeah.
No matter what it is no matter what it is in the growth, you're going to feel that at some point. And that's a great indicator that you are growing.
Totally.
And that you need to feel that and that you need to grow in that aspect of things as well as you kind of move forward.
Totally.
Knocking off these goals and doing these big things. So thank you. That was such a great answer.
Dude, and it's such a great reminder, too, for everyone to just realize, like, it doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't. Or what level anybody is at. I promise you those little extra efforts to show some love to that person, whoever that is. I'm not just talking about me. I'm anybody.
Yeah.
Trust me, I don't care what level they're at. They're going to appreciate it.
It goes a long way.
They're going to appreciate it. And so to see that, for me, was, gosh, man, incredible. But then to see those same, everyone show that love. I'll mention one more thing.
Yeah.
Just showing just the culture that we've created within this network. Our network is unbelievable, man. And we have people from all walks of life, all age groups, all races, all demographics, all personalities, all everything. Just literally across the board. There's not just one set of it's all across the board, if that makes sense. And there's no diversion there at all.
No.
None.
No.
It's everyone piling in to help everyone with what, just providing value, dude. And that's the culture that has been created. And that is the culture that, our network just embodies. And, we can envision it, we can dream it, but we need a group of people that see that vision and are willing to just embrace it and just like buy into it. And that's what you saw there. That's what you saw there, was a network of people who believed in the same mission, which is just providing value and giving and loving and, positivity. Yeah. And it was powerful to see that at that scale.
It was. So. No, thank you. No, that's such good answers. This is a question. I don't know if this question.
What about you though?
No, the most impactful part of my weekend was going to be the answer to the next question that I was going to ask.
All right, let's see it.
The next question that I was going to ask is, what were some of unexpected joys that you felt this weekend? What brought on those joys? And it was also the most impactful thing for me. Gosh dang it, I didn't want to get emotional. It was just a special weekend, dude. It was special seeing everybody. It was special really seeing that vision come to fruition.
Yeah.
We've been working at this for how long? We've been doing these things. We started Multifamily Mindset a little over a year and a half ago, and to see the Peak Partnership come to fruition and all of the people that have taken action on our education and have done deals, it was just so impactful, and it brought so much joy. But I would say the unexpected joy that I felt was watching every single person on the team interact with people part of the network. Right, I remember being in the hiring process for most of these people. Yeah. When all these people came on, I was one way or another involved in that hiring process, or with the trainings or whatever it may have been. But it was so cool to see from hire to all of these individuals, all of the coaches, all of the office staff, and everybody that was there that caught the vision, understands the culture that we're trying to create, and then lived that culture.
Yeah.
It seriously just brought so much happiness to see that just come full circle. It was awesome. So that'd probably be my most impactful and biggest joy of the weekend, is seeing those interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about for you? What was maybe an unexpected joy for you?
I don't know if it was Will you mention one more thing though before I get on this, Proud?
Yeah.
Will you mention yoga and the unexpected joy that you felt there?
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah, no, definitely. That was definitely, you knew I was going to skirt it because it makes me emotional. But Saturday morning we did yoga at 5:30 in the 5:30 was when it started.
5:30, I think.
5:30 in the morning, and there was a huge show. There was a huge showing, a huge turnout. Right, we kind of just threw the invite out there. Whoever wanted to come could come. Whoever decided not to do yoga didn't have to come. No harm, no foul. But it was kind of just this extra bonus we wanted to throw in on Saturday morning. We had Gray, our favorite yoga instructor here from Maui.
Shout out to Gray.
Shout out to Gray. He did such a great job. Flew him out to Maui and held a yoga class. And the comments that I was receiving as people were coming in had a huge impact on me. There's comments of, I would have never done yoga if it wasn't for you. I never would have taken that leap out to really try something new unless I have seen somebody like you do it. What
do you mean by that?
It was people. It was people that were overweight. It was some bigger people, but to be able to have that effect and impact on others just by me simply living my life.
Yes.
Meant a lot to me.
It should.
That people are watching, that people are taking note and noticing and thinking, oh shit, maybe I can too. And then a lot of those people showed up for yoga, really enjoyed it, and a lot of them commented after, man, this is non-negotiable for me once a week. I got to do yoga. And the impact that yoga's had for me, that's to the side. You know what I mean? The great things that yoga have done for me, and that the benefits that I know for those that will go through and do some more yoga, they'll benefit from it for sure. But that's not the part that impacted me the most. The part that impacted me the most was that people are watching and realizing and noticing, and then want that for themselves too. Yeah. And that just means a ton to me. So it's very impactful for me.
Yeah, bro.
That weekend.
It should be impactful for you, man, because it's we have these stereotypes in our cultures. Yeah. And every culture has these different stereotypes, meaning like this type of person does.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually did yoga last night, bro. And you know what she said? I didn't even think about this until just right now. One of the things she said, you guys, there's a couple dudes. There's, usually it's, all girls, know, and me and maybe you.
Yeah.
But there's like 3 dudes there. And she's like, you guys right now are something like are challenging societal norms. You're not even supposed to be here, dude. You're not even supposed to be here. You're dudes. You're not supposed to be here. But just from being here, just from showing up, you're enhancing your view of, you're enhancing things.
Yeah,
And you're enhancing the view of others. And that's what happens, dude. Sometimes we think we can't participate, we can't do it. And that this relates to yoga, this relates to real estate.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think I can participate. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm part of that. You are if you decide you are.
Yeah.
You are if you decide you are. And a big impactful, I would say actually the most impactful part for me in the weekend, though, that I want to backtrack on, that then comes up to this next question too, is passing out the trophies. You know, all these students who, and dude, the majority of the people that I mean, maybe half of the people that, you know, we had trophies to pass out to weren't even there, you know, or weren't around for that session or whatever.
Yeah.
But seeing those people, giving those people the trophies, seeing how everyone in the crowd celebrated those people. Because you know what I was worried about? I was worried about, man, as we do this section, I guess, same thing. Are these people in the crowd, are they going to roll out? They're not part of this. They're not the ones getting the trophy. Are they going to roll out? Are they going to go out and do something out in the hallway and then come back in when, you know, it's something that impacts them? That was not what was the case at all. Which I want to just give this massive shout out to everyone in the network, because it does impact them. It does impact them because, first off, it motivates. But what I was so impressed with all weekend, and this may be an unexpected one, was how everyone on our network just celebrated the success of other people. That's massive, because that's a success hack. It's not being jealous. It's not comparing. It's celebrating those people. And if you truly want success in your own life, celebrate the success in the lives of others.
Yeah.
And they celebrated. They stood on their feet the whole time. They clapped. They cheered. They yelled. They were truly feeling joy. I saw it, dude. Feeling joy, celebrating the success of these people walking across the stage. And, you know, that's powerful, man. That's powerful. That was... I mean, dude, the whole purpose of multifamily mindset is to help people
do deals.
Yeah. And to get a chance to just celebrate those people for a second and get that, amazing.
Recognize them was.
Along those same lines was Jeannie Allen. Jeannie, if you're listening to this, you're such an inspiration, and you have been from the minute that you came to a class in San Francisco, sat in the front row, and I remember coming in on Sunday to teach a class, and she comes up to me and she says, I want to share I think she called it testimony. I want to share my testimony today. And I was like, okay.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
You never know how that's going to go.
And it doesn't happen very often at those classes, and people don't usually walk up to you and say they want to speak in front of everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
So you never know how that's going to go.
Right.
But it's like, but Jeannie is super sweet, freaking genuine person. And if you don't know Jeannie is in a wheelchair. And what I love about Jeannie is she does not let anything, especially that wheelchair, define her.
Yeah.
And anytime that there's a situation where that wheelchair could define her, she makes sure everyone knows.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen. So, for example, she is getting a trophy. And she comes up to the stage, and the hotel had no ramps anywhere to get on stage. I mean, we are nowhere. Well, so I'm thinking I'm going to jump off stage and give her this trophy off stage. Jeannie? No. Jeannie says, Tyler, no, hold on to that trophy. I'm not. I'm going to take it on stage. And she has a group of people that she has put together that are now helping her out of the chair, then lifting this chair. How heavy was that chair?
They're 350 pounds.
350-pound chair up on the stage. And then she sits back in the chair on stage. And now I'm at the edge of the stage. And her husband, I think it was her husband.
Chip. Great guy.
Oh, stop.
Such a sweet gentleman.
Who whispers to me and says, no, Tyler, she wants to get her trophy in the middle of the stage like everybody else. I was like, I freaking love this shit. So I go stand in the middle of the stage. And Jeannie then comes to the middle of the stage and grabs her trophy. Now, one of my favorite pictures from the weekend is me giving Jeannie a hug. And Jeannie and Chip both get that trophy, but Jeannie inspired many that day, myself included. It's just this reminder to every single one of you. You might have something, every one of you, every one of us, all of us, have something that we allow to define us sometimes. And what Jeannie taught me that day is that no matter what that thing is, at that moment, we cannot allow it to define us. At any moment, we can't. And when we feel that happening, that's when we kick back. That's when we double down more than ever. It's like, no. This is not going to define me. This is not going to define a situation. This is not going to hold me back. And that's why Jeannie is freaking killing it in this business and in life, and always has and always will.
No, that was definitely a super, super special part of the weekend. I'm glad you brought that up. Having the conversation with Jeannie prior to all of that, I'm the one running around trying to find this ramp. The ramp's at a different hotel. There's no ramp. And I walk up to her and suggest this idea, and it was like a no-brainer to her to be lifted up on the stage to go across, because that's what needed to happen.
Awesome,
because it wasn't going to define her. So it was she's very special, very impactful. Shout out Jeannie for sure. She's awesome. She's awesome. Any other things that had a super big impact on you before I kind of move on to see these other questions? Is there anything else you want to share?
I mean, so much, man. Literally so much. To see people get an opportunity to come up on stage and have an opportunity to be on panels and, present and tell their story and pitch their deals, and, to see Dallas and Melissa and Ryan and Todd, everyone being able to get up there and have that opportunity, huge. It was awesome.
It was.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
But man, more than anything, just the I'll talk about we obviously had big names. Ed.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Can I point out a couple things? Let me point something out with Ed first.
Yeah.
Ed ends up he comes in virtually, and we have some AV issues. And Ed, listen, man, I'm a Ed and Eric Thomas. I'm a massive fan of both of them. I follow their content a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Ed before, and I'm Ed and Eric before, but I'm just talking to Ed before, and this example, and I just get this, like, I'm pretty good read of people, and what was crazy is he talked about being a good read of people. I don't know if you remember that, because it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I just I was like, man, this dude's a real dude. I felt the same way about Eric. But I've heard Ed talk multiple times about how he thrives in chaos. Thrives in chaos. Well, it was chaotic, man. There were some AV issues. He was doing a Zoom call. He couldn't see the crowd. He couldn't hear their reaction. So I'm telling you, I've done plenty of Zoom calls. And if I can't see or hear, you have no idea if what you're saying is landing. And if you don't know what you're saying is landing, then energy is just, you're receiving no energy back.
Right.
And energy is a real thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, Ed thrived in chaos. What Ed did, Ed amped up. Like, he increased his output. So many people in that moment, man, would get frustrated. So many people would start to complain. So many people would show that frustration. No, not at all. Ultimate professional, thrived in chaos, and I don't think that there was a dry eye in the entire crowd, which is, it was. I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. And then I thought he was going to be so pissed about it. Right? Even seeing him, I text him, and I was like, Ed, right after, as soon as I got off stage, because he gets, he finishes up, I talk to the group right after him, then I come off stage and I text him, I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry about that, man. And he texts back, or he actually called me right back, and he's like, Tyler, bro, do not stress about that at all. I've done tons of events, and AV issues are the worst, and I've had them at my events. Don't worry about it at all, man. So at this moment, when he could have been so frustrated at me,
right,
he showed grace. And, dude, Ed is somebody that, I look up to a ton.
Yeah.
And at that moment, he taught me something that was, dude, he practices what he preaches. He saw it from the other person's perspective, from my perspective, and let me know, calmed my nerves to let me know, it's okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
appreciated that a ton in that
moment.
Yeah. So.
Which led to what?
Say what?
Which led to what? Him doing that for you led to what, though? I'm trying to be specific. It led to you doing the exact same thing for the rest of our team. Extending that grace when you could have been upset at the AV issues, when you could have been upset at all these other little things that may have gone wrong. It impacted you so much that you did that exact same thing for the rest of the team.
Yep.
Is extended grace, and
it's actually one of my favorite parts of the weekend, I think. Can I?
Yeah.
So, you're talking about the Tasha.
Uh-huh.
Everyone, but
yeah.
Tasha. Because Tasha, well, during this whole fiasco, there's you, Jackson Campbell, Tasha Allred, and also Jordan Hedgeman. I never know if I'm pronouncing it right.
No, I think you got it.
Who are just making sure that this is going off without a hitch, dude. And yes, there was problems.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys were running, dude. And so I get done off stage, and Tasha is walking me back to the green room, and I just can see that. She owns everything. She owns this. She owns it. So she's like, she feels like this is all on her. And I saw it, right, and I could see that she was just close to verge of tears, wondering how I'm going to react to it. And she apologizes, and I stopped in the hall, like this back, we're backstage, back in the whatever, and we stopped in the hall, and I stopped. It was one of these moments where this is where it's, I was just grateful to be in that position at that moment. And she said sorry, and I stopped and I said, Tasha, you don't owe me any apologies. If you think that this one hiccup is going to overshadow all the amazing things that are happening at this event, you're out of your mind. You know what I recognized? I recognized that during the chaos, you, Jackson Jordan, were doing everything you could to solve it. Thank you for doing that. That's what I'm grateful for. Not that there was a mishap. I'm grateful that you were doing everything in your power that you possibly could to fix it. Thank you for that. You don't owe me an apology. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And I gave her a hug. And to see that, just the impact that had reminded me how important that perspective is. And I'm so glad that that's how I reacted in that moment. Because there's plenty of moments where all of us, we don't always react the right way.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, dude, thank you for sharing that. It was and thank you for the compliment. It was it was special. So it was cool to see that come full circle too, right? You learned it from Ed, and you kind of had that experience with Ed, and it made you want to extend that same grace to those that you work with. So it was special. There's a lot of special things.
Actually, dude, that happened before Ed.
That
happened before I talked to Ed.
Really?
Yep, that happened before I talked to Ed. But what's interesting? I also believe that you attract things into your life. For
sure.
And so,
because no, definitely.
And I'm telling you, man, there's plenty of times I don't know why I feel like it's so important, but I want you to understand there's plenty of times I do not react the right way.
Right.
But then there's those times that you do handle something in a way that's like, yep, that's how I needed to handle it. Because you want to know what? Right before that, there was an issue with the individual who was on stage, literally throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
That he had to get off for Ed. And when he came back, and we don't need to get into details, I did not handle that probably the best way.
Right.
So yeah, anyway.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, we don't need to get in those details.
No, we don't. We do not. We do not. I would rather not anyway. Awesome. As we kind of wrap up here, Ty, I wanted to add, you had a lot of family there.
Yeah.
You had a lot of family there. Was that the biggest crowd you spoke to?
Not the biggest.
It was the biggest crowd that of people of an event that you put on. Definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Definitely our largest event that we've ever had. So this is kind of a two-part question. What was it like speaking to a crowd that big and I think this was also the first time all of your siblings and your mom was there to watch you speak. So I wanted to hear about that. Let's start there. What was it like having all of your siblings and your mom there? What was that like for you?
Ed actually talked about being the one, in your family. And I've always believed, he talks about, when you see this family that's wealthy, this family that lives on the beach, this family whatever, that wasn't always the case. There was this one that came along, the one that changed everything, that changed the trajectory of the family, that changed generations. Well, you got into that. I've always felt like that was that one for my family,
Yeah.
Always felt like that. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter, because I have carried that on my shoulders, and it has inspired me to do, to do things that maybe I probably wouldn't have done otherwise. But more importantly, now we're not talking about money. We're not talking about anything. We're talking about how I've seen my family's belief enhance and increase. has been the most impactful thing. Melissa, how her life has changed, and Mike, and how his life has changed, and now my sister Tiffany, who's just went through a tough divorce, and seeing her life change through the principles and the things that she's learned is incredible. It's incredible. And my mom, same thing. So seeing them there, and just the love and the support that they showed was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the most impactful portions for me, because sometimes in the moment you're not internalizing it. Sometimes I do, but not all the times.
Right.
But it's day one, and I'm at the elevator, and I run into Rowan. Rowan, I did not talk to enough at the event. Rowan's somebody that I look up to, I appreciate, and I love, and I care about. And she stops me at the elevator, and she says, Tyler, and Rowan's my same age, I think. I don't know, close to, has to be. And I don't know, age is just blurs.
I know. Yeah.
Everyone's my same age. I always say, Jackson, so-and-so's our same age. And Jackson's like, bro, I'm 10 years younger than you. I'm like, shit. But she says, Tyler, I just couldn't help but think, it's so awesome that your mom's here. I couldn't help but think, as I'm sitting in that crowd, I saw you as my son. And I just couldn't help but think, like, how proud your mom must be of just seeing you crush your goals. And then she starts to cry. And I was like, it hit me. But I was like, whoa. Because I'm a parent, man. And all of a sudden I start viewing as a parent. And I was like, first off, the love that Rowan showed me, that's so much love. Dude.
Yeah.
Once again, people are amazing. And I go up in my room. First off, I'm right up at the elevator. I was like, holy cow. And then, I walk in my room. Because, listen, I haven't always been that person that makes my mom proud. There's plenty of times in my life that I've made my mom wish that,
you wouldn't have done something you did.
Yes, but I would have been different.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, I'm sitting in that room, and I was like, man, felt good. I want to make people proud. I want to, especially her, and my family. And so, so seeing that there, I guess, to wrap this up, was, and just seeing the changes that have happened, was awesome. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Also, the love that every single person showed my family changed my family's life. It changed my family's life. So it changed them.
I love that.
You, going to dinner that night with them and talking to them changed them. Every one of them.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's just a good reminder of that last little bit that you shared of just being kind. You never know what that can do for somebody.
Yeah.
You never know. So no, thank you for sharing that.
Eric, one of the things that Eric said.
Thomas.
Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
Talking to him backstage, and he says, and I said, hey man, and I'm just, listen, y'all, I love to learn. And so I'm asking him questions. I asked him and Ed both questions, hey, how do you gather your content? How do you do this? How do you do that? And then I'm like, hey man, I also always ask, how can I provide value? How can we provide value to you? And I believe in that. And just for the record, Eric's way to provide value to us is really, his answer was,
let me provide value to you.
Let me provide more value to you. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
okay,
awesome.
This dude, Eric, is the real deal.
Yep.
I mean that.
They both are. But having Eric there live to be able to tangibly see that and feel that was special for sure.
And he cares. For example, I said, "Hey man, I know you're about to go up, dude. If you need to go, prepare for a second, get your head right. You're good." He's like, "Shit, man. Listen, man. I would say if you need to prepare right now, you're already behind the 8 ball." And he said, dude, I'm very prepared. I prepare way before I come in here. I'm very prepared. You want to know why I'm very prepared? Because I know that those people out there that I'm about to talk to, I know that if I can deliver the message that I know that I have the capability of delivering, and I can say things in the right way, the way that I know that I need to, and if I can do that, and I can connect with them, and it can land, it's game over for them. Their life has changed. That responsibility, that responsibility, no, I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Because I can't take that responsibility that I have and come into that unprepared. And I literally was like, thank you so much, man, for having that responsibility to these people that I just told you I love and I care about and I literally just care about. Thank you for taking that responsibility. How many people don't know and don't carry that responsibility? That dude does. And to people he's never met.
Right.
It's easy for me to carry. It's easy for us to carry because we've met him. We've talked to him. We know him.
Right.
But that dude carries that always. I love him for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Eric Thomas and Ed Milet were incredible. Thank them for coming out for sure. They did such a good job, and we're just honestly truly amazing people, amazing men to be able to come in contact with and be able to have those interactions with were special for sure. As we wrap up here, Ty, one last final question. Actionables, right? We're all about actionables. Growthcast, we always want to make sure we're leaving here giving some actionables to make us better, push us towards our ultimate major purpose. But actionables moving forward from the event. What should people be doing? This episode's dropped now. It'll be 6 days after the event ended.
Okay.
What should people be doing now from what they learned at the Peak Partnership?
The same things that they were doing at Peak Partnership. Communicating with people, providing value to people, like literally just embracing and helping people. Like that's what they should be doing, because what that does is enhances the belief of others. The belief in other people. And when you enhance the belief of other people, your belief naturally enhances.
100%.
So continually helping, man, and continue to keep that momentum going. That's from giving. That's from helping. So the same things, Literally, does that make sense?
Totally. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Such a great takeaway here to wrap up. Essentially, keep doing what you were doing at Peak Partnership.
Yeah.
Keep being that positive light and keep connecting others. Keep doing what you were doing there. That's awesome. Ty, anything else you want to add?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 things.
Yeah, I have the Aloha. I have the Hawaiian value today, by the way.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've got that.
I love it.
Okay.
2 things. One of the things that Ed talked about, that I've heard him talk about before, actually. I think he talked about it at his 50th birthday or something. But he talked about how all anyone wants. He worked with a youth group when he was younger, and so did I. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I worked with Trouble the Youth.
Did you know that I did that too?
Oh, I do. Yes, that's
Yeah.
I did know that. Yeah. And he said, all anyone ever wants is to be loved, cared about, that somebody believes in them and shows them how to do better. That's all anyone ever wants. And it's literally that simple. People want to feel loved, cared about, believed in, and surrounded by people that can show them how to do better. And I felt that times 1,000,000 at the event. And I hope, but I also know that everyone felt that at the event. So the key is to make sure that everyone continues to feel like that after the event.
Right.
And the way for that to happen is to take ownership to make sure that everyone feels like that, right?
Right.
One thing I also wanted to point out is Ed's book, The Power of One More. That comes out. You can actually pre-order it right now. Mm-hmm. And something that I thought was baffling to me was that if you pre-order the book, you get he's putting on a virtual conference. And that conference is Ed Milet, Eric Thomas, Rob Deerdick. I mean, literally the
huge names. Yeah.
So you go to maxoutlive.com, you pre-order the book, and you get access to the event. And that's crazy to me, dude. So every single person that's listening to this, if you have not done that, you're crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You're crazy. When I was talking to him and he told me, I'm like, oh, shit, yes, done. Sold. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So maxoutlive.com. If you haven't done that already, go do that. So anyway.
Awesome. Tyler, thank you. And just to kind of as we wrap up here, thank you to everyone that came and participated in Peak Partnership. It was there. I had multiple people come up and say thank you to us. Thank us as an organization. I probably should have led with this. Thank us for an organization for putting on the Peak Partnership. And my response to every single one of them was the same. It was all we did was had a vision. All we did was have a vision, and that we wanted to put on an event to connect others, to be able to create partnerships and create teams. But it wouldn't have been possible without people showing up and actually doing that. So no matter how great we are, or no matter how great everybody thinks we are at the Multifamily Mindset for putting that event on, that event is not what it is without every single person in that room doing what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
Impossible.
Yep.
Impossible. So thank you to everybody that came to that event. So special. Thank you. It wouldn't have been what it was without you.
Love y'all.
Yeah.
Like literally to my core, I love you. I'm grateful for you. Like I'm just...
Same.
I'm grateful for you too.
Well, I know.
I'm grateful to you.
Yeah.
Like to my core, I'm grateful for you. You allow me to live my dream, and to be able to do that right now. I'm more grateful for that than you'll ever know. So thank you for supporting me in that and allowing me to do that. I love you. I'm grateful for you. So.
Awesome. As we wrap up here our Aloha Friday episode, I'm just going to actually take the value that you used today on our Maui meeting, which is mana, which was abundant at Peak Partnership. Mana is, let me make sure that I don't mess this up, more or less your vibe, the energy that you carry with you wherever you go. And the mana at the workshop, the vibe at the workshop was nothing but positivity, happiness, love, service, kindness. And something that I want to invite everybody to always carry with them is that. The feelings that you had at Peak Partnership. So that's what I wanted to wrap up with.
Perfect, bro. I love it because we choose it.
Right.
We listen. Every single person listening to this, you choose your mana. Mm-hmm. And the reason there was so much energy, if you were at the event, it's undeniable that there was energy, good mana there. It's because every person there chose good mana. Every person chose. They were very purposeful. And like when we are purposeful and we choose our mana, we become our best selves, right?
Definitely.
So choose what that is. No matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're interacting with, choose your mana, whatever that is. Like or wherever you are, choose a good mana, right? Yep. What energy are you putting off? And that energy is our most important resource, It's our most important resource. It's one of our most, so we need to manage it, and we also need to share it. Mana, I love it. Life source, energy.
Absolutely.
Like, dude, keep that shit rolling.
Yes.
And then also, obviously, live always with aloha. Y'all, live always with aloha. And usually right after that, I would say peace. But first, thank you, man. I love y'all. And I know that sounds cheesy. I don't give a shit. I love y'all. I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart, dude. And thankful for all our team members that just poured into everyone and helped. And if you haven't signed up for Peak Partnership 2023,
link in the bio.
Yeah, put the link in the bio, dude.
Yep, link
Sign
will be
up,
in the description.
man.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there. And you know what? Until then, or until the next drip, live always with aloha. Peace.